After you have turned in your assignment and your work has been reviewed by your trainers, they will give you feedback in the form of a number grade and written comments. If you need to make any corrections and resubmit your work, then your trainers will give you directions in the comments section of the assignment page. You are able to ask questions and discuss this here as well, and you are also encouraged to speak with your trainers in person if that is needed. However, what do these numbers mean, and how do they work? Let me take a moment to introduce the grading system we will be using as we give you feedback throughout this TESOL course. There's a great deal of intentionality behind the way we give our grades and the language we use, and the way we try to communicate it. So let me just explain that framework to you right now. If you grew up going to American schools as I did, then you're probably familiar with grades that look like this. However, we will be using a 3-point grading scale that looks like this instead. Let me define what each of those numbers refer to, and then I'll explain why we use this system for grading and why I think it's actually a much better way of grading, at least for our purposes here in TESOL. What do the points mean? 1 means incomplete or needs improvement. Perhaps you started this assignment but you haven't yet finished all of the steps, or you might have made a mistake and you need to go back and correct part of your work. For both of these examples, your trainers will give you a 1 for your grade on that assignment. 2 stands for satisfactory or effective. In order to pass this course, you must receive a 2 or higher on all assignments. If your trainers see that you've turned in all your work for a given assignment and that your work meets the standards that have been given, then they will give you a 2 for your grade on that assignment. 3 means that your work has been deemed very effective. 3s are reserved for truly exceptional work, where your trainers recognize that you've gone above and beyond their expectations, and when they see that you've put in extra effort in order to complete your assignment. A 2 or 3 means that you have finished the requirements for that assignment, and you can move on to other work. Whereas a 1 implies there's still work to be done, and you must go back and continue working on that assignment more, and then resubmit your work again. Why do we use the 3-point grading scale? Systems of grading that place their highest value on straight-A students and shame the mistakes and failures of others are naturally systems that celebrate talent and ability. It's a grading system that lifts up the superheroes who are already capable of flight, while at the same time has the potential of holding down the very people who need rescuing. I'm not saying that all these systems need to be immediately thrown out the window, but I do think they've chewed up and spit out a lot of people hurt by the fear and stigma of failure. There's a vast distinction between telling yourself that you are not smart enough to complete this assignment versus you just haven't completed this assignment yet. Our 3-point grading scale flips this whole notion on its head, and it recognizes and even normalizes the need for mistakes. It understands that we all start at 1 and that we're all on a journey of becoming 2s and 3s. It's focused on and it celebrates the process, not just the end result. It encourages effort rather than perfection. And it's all about finding what it takes to grow. This viewpoint that your abilities can be developed is what Carol Dweck, the psychologist and researcher from Stanford University, calls having a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. That even on your worst days, you're not stuck somewhere near the bottom, but that you're on the move forward and you're capable of improving even when the problem is too hard to solve or the assignment is too daunting. There is power when you embrace the word yet. If you see a 1 not as a failure, but as a not yet. But keep trying, Keep growing and improving, and before long, you'll be doing it. One day you might even find yourself exceptional at it. Stop focusing on who you are today and start focusing on who you are becoming. Embrace your mistakes. We are called to be learners, not just teachers.